Hey everyone, OJ here. Yeah, I know it's been a while, but I wanted to get this video out as possible because I have thoughts. I'm very conflicted with this whole thing. Ice Age is coming back, and I have a lot, and I mean a lot of things to say about this because wow, it is weird to see these guys again after so long. Ice Age is one of the biggest animated film franchises of all time. It made its debut back in 2002, and it was the first film from the defunct studio Blue Sky. And not only that the film was a critical hit and a financial hit, it also was nominated at the Academy Award for Best Animated Feature, but lost to Studio Ghibli's Spirited Away. But taking that aside, the first movie, again, it was a huge hit. And it led to an entire franchise of sequels. We got one in 2006 with The Meltdown, 2009 with Dawn of the Dinosaurs, 2012 with Continental Drift, 2016 with Collision Course, and 2022 we got the spin-off for Disney Plus, The Adventures of Buck Wild. So, yes, this is a big franchise. Each of these sequels made a lot of money back in the box office. The first four films alone are some of the highest grossing films of their respective years. And while 5 was still a success, it was nowhere near the juggernaut what Dawn of the Dinosaurs or Continental Drift grossed. But with that being said, critically, they just got worse. And if I have to give my professional ranking on the Ice Age films from best to worst, here's the ranking. But now, let's get into my thoughts on the upcoming Ice Age Boiling Point. So, this is going to be interesting. I have a lot to say about the trailer and the poster that we got for the movie. So, starting off with the trailer, we get essentially a slow motion of the characters in the air coming out of a puff of smoke. We start with Scrat, which, again, I'm very happy that he's in this. I miss the little guy. And then we get the main characters. We get Manny, Sid, Diego, Ellie, Crash, Eddie, and Buck, all screaming, all getting hit in the air with stuff. And it is fascinating, just fascinating to look at. Here's the thing. Blue Sky was shut down by Disney back in 2021. And again, Disney, that was just wrong of you to do that. Especially since, there was no reason to do that. And 2, I will admit, it looks better than Buck Wild. I don't know, something about the animation just feels off. I kind of miss the sort of grounded, appeal of the Ice Age movies. Sure, yeah, characters like Sid, Crash, Eddie, Buck, and Scrat to essentially show off that, that cartoon hijinks, and with characters like Manny, Ellie, and Diego sort of showing that grounded in reality kind of feel of their characters and their movements. That was something that, that's missing from this. And I know it's just them in the air, but that's, again, something that's missing from this. And it just feels off. And even when you look back at something like Collision Course, the last mainline film that we got 10 years ago, which is insane that it came out 10 years ago, it still kept the somewhat of the groundedness of the character's weight, even if that film was obnoxious with the animation. But yeah, and then we end the trailer off with Baby Scrat. So that's one thing I'm actually happy about. Baby Scrat is canon to the Ice Age franchise. So it wasn't just something for the Scrat Tales miniseries, which I'm happy to see that he's there. Now, we get to the poster. And so I have a lot to say about this. I don't like what I'm looking at, and it really something about this just feels off. Alright, take a look at the posters from the previous movies, right? They set a tone for what we're gonna get, and they genuinely feel like something exciting is about to happen. Now, with this one, I'm gonna be honest, this shit looks AI generated. And I hate to use that term on an official movie poster, but something about this just looks off. All the characters, like, proportions just feels weird, especially on Buck and Crash and Eddie. I don't like how Diego looks with this shot. Sid looks out of place. Like, the whole poster itself just looks wrong to me. And I don't know. It's just, it feels off. It feels very off from what I was expecting. And it's strange because, like, 2027 is going to be an interesting year because Disney's not only that we're getting this movie alone, we're also getting the sequel to the Simpsons movie, which is coming out in fall of 2027, which I'm really curious to see what they're going to do with that, knowing that Simpsons has been around for almost damn near 40 plus years. It's like, what are they going to do for that? And that's something I'm curious about with this movie alone. We have a 6 mainline Ice Age installment. This is going to be the third movie where the characters are going back to the Lost World. Yes, I'm counting Buck Wild. The third time that they're going to the Lost World. And it's going to be essentially a Armageddon-styled plot, just from the feel of it. And I'll be honest, it's like, Ice Age should not be just about the characters survive. Yes, they are surviving the Ice Age, but it shouldn't just be about the world is ending, because we already had that in the Meltdown, we kind of had that in Continental Drift, and we had it again in Collision Course. I'll definitely say that, like, Dawn of the Dinosaurs did something original and showed us the Lost World, which was a fresh concept at the time. With this, it just, I don't know. We need to see more of a synopsis that isn't just them going back to the Lost World. And I have more questions. Like, apparently the director of Buck Wild is directing this movie. I forgot the guy's name, but once I have the video ready, I will pop it up, like, right here. But yeah, with him directing this movie, I wonder, are we going to see some elements from Buck Wild implemented into Boiling Point? I mean, I'm curious, because what can they show? I mean, Z, probably, she was arguably, I think, one of the best things from that movie. But then I'm wondering about, like, other characters. Like, are we gonna see Peaches, Julian? Are we gonna see Brooke? Are we gonna see Shira? Are we gonna see the return of Granny? Like, what characters are gonna come back outside from, like, the ones that they showed off? And then you have, like, one thing I'm just curious on is, like, why haven't they brought back the humans? Like, I'm genuinely wondering, like, why haven't they brought them back, or even made, like, a subtle nod, like a brilliant nod to them? It's so strange that the first Ice Age put a big emphasis on these humans, especially with the fact that, these humans hunted down their species. Like, Manny's original family was killed by humans. Diego's pack was killed by humans, and it's like they had a big impact in the first one's story, where they feel like, so little to the sequels. Like, they don't have any mention at all, and it just feels off. But by the fact that we have now, like, 5 movies, and they don't even mention them at all in the sequels, knowing how crazy this franchise goes on, yeah, it's nuts. And another thing I'm wondering is, like, what about, how is Scrat going to have how is he going to play a role in this? Because one thing I noticed about Scrat in the later films is that he was the one to essentially start the plot. Continental Drift and Collision Course, he's the one who kickstarted, like, what was going to happen in those films. Same with The Meltdown. But especially in those last 2, he essentially created, the continents, he created the solar system. So it's like, I'm hoping that they kind of scale down whatever kind of godlike ability that damn squirrel has. And especially since, like, we're having Baby Scrat with this. So I'm curious, what are they going to do with those 2? And lastly, it's like, if this film is a success at all whatsoever, I'm curious, like, are we going to see them, like, do other things with the other Blue Sky properties, right? Because it wasn't just Ice Age. I mean, a lot of people really want a director's cut of Robots. People are still hoping for a third Rio movie. And even if it's not produced by Disney at all, we're getting another Peanuts movie, like directed by Steve Martino, who directed the original one from Blue Sky. Hell, if I'm being honest, I would love to see a follow-up to Spies in the Skies. Like that, I feel like that could have been the next Blue Sky franchise, but Disney sabotaged that film. So, but hey, look, like I said, I grew up with Ice Age, and I still have deep love for this franchise. I have all 5 movies on Blu-ray. I always go back to them, like especially like if I have some time to wind down. Overall thoughts on this so far, first impressions? At first, that's how I feel. It's just Again, I hope we get more details and just like a better trailer than whatever we had here. That's all I asked. But yeah, that's all I have to say about Ice Age Boiling Point. But yeah, guys, yeah. Comment down below what you guys think of the poster and the teaser for this movie. And I'll see you guys later. Peace.